3, 2, 1. Well, we're welcoming Konstantinos Ntoukakis today from, I was lumpy, from, where is your website? Oh, studiofordigitalgrowth.com. Konstantinos, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Hello, Steve, and thanks for having me today.
Welcome.
So, a little bit about myself. So, I am the CTO and SEO consultant at Studio for Digital Growth. This is an agency I co-founded at the beginning of this year. Actually, we are very fresh, but both me and my co-founder, Joanna Formella, we have a long, history in the marketing space and a lot of experience. And after working for many years in startups and multinationals, we decided to actually start our own project and contribute, work more closely with business owners that run online businesses. So my story is I started with SEO and digital marketing back in 2013 because I needed to know more around this field for a company that I co-founded. It was called Perfecta.io. And we were an analytics software as a service business. And, it's growth marketing and organic growth are really important in that space, right?
Right.
And so fast forward 6-7 years later, I'm mostly responsible for the technical aspects and organic growth of our clients' websites. In this agency, we started at the beginning of this year. And what is so special about Studio? So I think, the success of this project, we can contribute to 3 things. So the first one is we have a very strong team. So like me, I'm very technical. My co-founder, he worked on a Google project before, and all the individual contributors we have are really strong and have a long history in the marketing field. The second one is we see ourselves as partners to entrepreneurs with online businesses, and we basically really try to solve problems, not just fit them in our agency template and produce the same outcome for everybody. And we're very strong and active in Western Europe and the English-speaking and German-speaking markets. So I think that was pretty much like over here. You can tell me if you would like something more about this, but
no, that's good. That's insightful. That's great, and it's important to understand where your market is. My wife's family is actually from Stein, just north of Nuremberg.
Oh, awesome!
And they used to work for Faber-Castell, and
it's a very beautiful district region. Sorry.
It is. Agreed. Yeah. So okay. So and I think you touched on your technical credibility. That's great. So can you talk about what you feel are the future SEO trends, and don't be afraid to be controversial in your we're not looking for vanilla here.
Well, that's good to know, because the first topic I wanted to touch is kind of controversial, and I think it's, as you say, like trends tend to be controversial. So the first thing I think is the no-click searches everybody's talking about. There were some studies at the beginning of the year from Rand Fishkin of SparkToro. He also co-founded Moz.
Yes.
So he's a co-founder and ex-CEO of Moz, and he, he's also a Google critic. And there are these studies about, like, I think maybe, I don't know, like 60% or I don't remember the exact number, but it's really huge, the number of no-click searches on Google, and especially on mobile. And a lot of SEO professionals still see Google as a search engine, and so they believe that Google should actually encourage users to visit websites to get the information that they want, but not actually serve this information through the different forms they're using. I don't want to go now into very detail, like the knowledge panel, etc. So, for example, if you ask a specific question like, how many weeks a cat is pregnant, right?
Yes.
A search engine like DuckDuckGo, for example, will not give you an answer for this type of question, but will serve you some search results. One of the first ones is from Purina, which is a company that makes cat food, and they have a blog post about this, and you can go there and find the answer. Google will just display you, like 80, 90 days or something. I don't remember. But so this brings a huge controversy about what is the Google the role of search engines in search and in organic search results, and what should be the limits, and so on. So the trend that I see in this is that Google is becoming more and more a user experience company, and it's maybe a bit flawed to see it, specifically as a search engine. Like, it's not 100% a search engine. It's a company that wants to bring a great experience in the web. They're working with many technologies to do that. And although, search is their main product, in the end, they do what they decide is best for the user. So if they can actually help you right away without serving your website, they will do that. And this affects a lot websites that their business model is all about, database businesses, right? So if your entire business model is that you want the people to go to your page to serve them a very specific information that could have been answered in one sentence, then you compete with Google. And this is not a place that you want to be.
Right. So that's very interesting. That you're the first person to bring that up. It's something I've noticed a lot, that people are very concerned with how, I guess you could argue that Google's doing a great job answering questions, but it doesn't help people get traffic to their website. So,
well, yeah.
So what do you think? What do they care? First of all, do they care that people aren't gaining the objective they want, that they're not getting visitors to their site? Especially when you consider that Google rewards websites for getting clicks. It's proof of relevancy. So if people that are searching for something, if they don't get a click, even though their information is being served as an answer, will it work against them?
It is absolutely, as you say, when Google believes that a specific website serves the searcher's intent, that is a ranking factor. So exactly, this is, I think this is the root of the controversy. I think we're just still trying to establish what is, perhaps what is good and what is not. What is the degree that Google should actually be involved in becoming an answers provider, right? Or compete with websites through their own properties like Google Travel, Google Flights. But of course, there were some things that brought this controversy at the first place. For example, I think they were scrapping lyrics from specific websites, and they were displaying them as Google's instant answers. And they got caught that they were actually scrapping websites and using their intellectual property. So
wow.
It's for me, the way that I see it, I don't really. I think it's the most important thing is to ask the right questions. And also, it's very important if you're a business. The controversy doesn't help you. You need to know what should be the action that you should undertake. And my advice is that, if you're running a business that competes with Google's vision to organize world's information, if your business model is that you want people to go to your website and get a very fast answer, you need to pivot, you need to adjust your organic strategy, because eventually Google will compete with you. So I see this as a trend. There are many critics and there are many proponents. So we will see how this will develop, I guess, in 2020.
What are your predictions?
Well, I think that there's going to be a push in this direction. Like Google is penetrating different industries. I was reading this week they want to have a payment solution as well in the browser. That maybe I'm wrong, but well, I definitely predict that this is something that will continue in this direction, and the businesses will have to adjust.
Right, I agree with you. And that's a very it's a great topic for conversation. So thank you for that. That is a great snippet of info that that will get highlighted in your interview. Do you have anything else? Any other juicy pieces for us?
Well, actually, I do. I think there is something that has that went under the radar lately, and this is the emergence of AI content marketing and the role that this will play when it comes to search engines and digital content. So I don't know if you've noticed the news like last year with OpenAI releasing some models. So basically, these are some machine learning algorithms that can create text that is so convincing that it could have been written by a human. And initially, at the beginning of the year, I think they released their watered down models. So the text wasn't, as accurate and as good. So it would still need to go through a human editor. But last week, they released their full models and together with a study about the implications of it, right? Because they wanted to do this in the responsible way. And basically, this allows you to programmatically create content. And now, why this is very important about when it comes to SEO, because imagine, there is this thing called PBNs or private blog networks. So there are people that are running websites that then they're using for link building. They're selling links through a network of blogs they actually control. And basically this is a way to, this is a black hat technique, we could say. This is a way to trick Google into thinking that you're getting legitimate links from websites that are not under your control, right? And this gives you authority. Now imagine the possibility to create an enormous amount of content programmatically based on real-time SEO data. So I think the genie is out of the bottle, and very soon we're going to see a lot of websites that are actually not run by humans, but are run by artificial intelligence. And it might sound something Elon Musk would say, but actually the technology is still out there. The technology is out there right now in 2019, and I think it's going to be put in use in 2020 or in the next couple of years for sure.
How available do you believe this technology will be to the mass, to the public, or will it be exclusive to certain people?
The technology is open source. It's on GitHub, and you can run a model in your laptop. So on our blog, I published an article about this a few months ago. That actually I ran this model on my MacBook Pro, and I actually produced something that looked like a blog post that was written by a machine. And if I can do it, there are many developers that can also do it. I think you just need people with the right, let's say, exposure, right? You need to have technical SEOs or marketing-minded developers, but I think this is something that will pick up pace.
Wow. If you don't mind, send me the link to that article, and I will include it in this conversation, in the interview.
Absolutely. Actually, maybe I can also paste it here in the chat. Maybe you have some feedback or remarks you would like to discuss right now as well.
Yeah, I'm probably, I'm probably not that, I don't know enough about that particular subject to ask questions.
That's okay. All right.
So yeah, but that's a great topic. So that is good, meaty information. I think there's a strong chance that both of those snippets may make its way into the article. So can you now talk about the tools that you use, and recognizing that that Moz and Ahrefs and Moz and Ahrefs, it comes up with almost everyone. So if you have anything outside of that,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
So okay, obviously, as an agency, right, we cycle between the big three, right, like Moz, Ahrefs, and SEMrush, etc. So
Yeah.
so these are, let's say, the big three. Everybody's using them. Neil Patel actually released now a free one that is really similar, like to most of the functions of these, and it's absolutely for free, and it's called Uber Suggest.
I use it every day. I use it
It's
every day.
amazing, right?
Yes, agreed.
Especially for the free tool. So we definitely use all of this. Now, there are some more things, for example, but they depend on the case. Like really big websites need tools that can give you technical insights, because all right, now I'm gonna get very technical, but only for a short amount of time. So when you have a technical problem on your website, like a server type of error, Google actually spends a lot of time pinging these pages to see if they came back online. And this can affect your crawl budget, how many other pages of your website Google will crawl. So basically, if your website has an issue, it's like Google is focusing all its efforts to actually see if these pages will come back online, to simplify it. And as you understand, Google has to go crawl the entire other web, right? So it has a limited amount of time that actually will spend on your website, and it tends to focus this limited amount of time to pages that are actually not working, just to try to figure out if they're backups so they can include them in the search results, etc. And so there are some tools that can give you this information if you have such issues by doing log analysis. I think one of them is called SEO Octopus, and it's really good at that.
That's great information. I've never heard that before.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So just 1 second. I'm confirming that. We can leave this part outside of the.
Yeah, no problem. And no, this is good. And you can send me a link.
Oh, it's called Jet Octopus, not SEO Octopus. Okay, yeah, it's with an octopus.
Yeah, just shoot me the links when you've got it. That would be fantastic.
Perfect.
So yeah, go ahead.
Of course, Screaming Frog, it's a really powerful crawler. But what I found really interesting when it comes to SEO tools is things that are being created by, let's say, niche tools created by SEO developers. This is a very specific thing, and there is this guy called Miguel something. I need to find the name and send it to you together with a link.
Okay.
And he's creating some really amazing tools that automate a lot of things, give you a lot of intelligence from Google by scrapping search results. And he puts them on his website. Really interesting things. They circulate in closed SEO groups. I will send them to you so you can include them in the interview.
Fantastic. Well, that's this is great. You touched on pretty much all new information. And you're probably interview number 10, so kudos to you.
Oh, thank you.
And I think this is really great information, Konstantinos. I do think that we're going to have some transcribing issues or errors in the transcription. So what I'm going to do is, once I transcribe it, and I'm just going to stop the recording. Just one